Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be discussing is how does an Isha become a Nida in the first place? And there's really only three options. Either through a Hargasha, through a Safek Hargasha, or through Ksamim. Now, once a lady becomes Tameh, regardless whether it's through Ksamim, whether it's through a Hargashas or a Safek Hargasha, once she is Tameh, there's going to be no difference in how she has to act when she's Tameh, whether she became Tameh through Ksamim or whether she became Tameh through Hargashas. Now the big difference is that Hargashas or Safek Hargashas are De'araisa. That's when a lady's going to be a Nida Mid-Araisa, whereas Ksamim, a lady's going to be a Nida Mid-Rabbanan. But again, there's no practical difference. Once a lady is Tameh, the same halachas are going to apply whether it's through Ksamim or Hargashas. The only difference is in determining whether she is Tameh in the first place. So we know that there's a number of different kulas when it comes to ksamim in order to make the isha tameh, and that we'll discuss in Mitzvah Shem at a different time. But when it comes to hargashas, there's no kulas, and in fact you have to be machmer. There's a lot of different shilas, so you have to be machmer anytime that there's a suffix that there's a hargasha involved. So what are the different hargashas? There's three different types of hargashas, and for our purposes, most ladies do not have any hargashas. And the ladies that do have hargashas, it's usually only one hargasha called the zivas davar lach, which means that a lady feels a flow of liquid from within her, not once it comes out of her, but from within her. And it's actually a machlekes hapaisim exactly where does it have to start inside of her. But at any rate, if any time an isha feels a flow from within her come out and it's dam, that has to be asked. That's a shaila, whether that is a hargasha and whether that's going to be an isser da'araisa. So, however, most ladies do not have hargashas like we said. But there are certain times that we have to assume, or we have to be choishish, we have to suspect that perhaps at that time she had a hargasha and didn't even realize it. So the three situations are, number one, when she does a bedika. When she does a bedika, we have to assume that if she finds any type of dime, even if it's the smallest amount of dime. I mean, sometimes a lady will say, well, I did a bedika, but there's such a small amount of dime, it's not even a gris, it's so small, it can't be my period, maybe I shouldn't even have to show it to Rav, and the answer is no. The halacha is, amid a raisa, even the smallest drop of dam that comes out with a hargasha is going to be 100% tamei mid a raisa, and therefore, anytime that a lady does a bedika, and there's a chash, there's a suspicion that perhaps at the time that she was doing a bedika, she also had at the same exact time a hargasha, and she just didn't realize it. She thought that she was feeling the bedika, and really that was the feeling of a hargasha of a period. So therefore, we have to be machmer. So if any time that there's a drop of dam on the bedika cloth, it's going to be an issa d'oraisa. That's number one. Number two is after going to the bathroom. During going to the bathroom, there's a sensation of liquid leaving your body, and a lady may think, well, I never felt any dam, I just felt going to the bathroom. Yeah, but that's because you thought that it was going to the bathroom, but it could be, the Chachamim said, that it could be that really at that same exact time you had the same exact sensation, but really it was a hargasha of dam. So therefore, anytime that an isha finds dam after going to the bathroom, it's a big shaila, and that shaila has to be asked to a paisik. Number three is during tashmish, or if she finds dam after tashmish. She finds dam after tashmish, you also have to assume that during the tashmish, it could be that sensation that she was feeling could have been a hargasha for a period. So those are the three times that anytime an isha finds dam afterwards, it's a big shaila and it has to be asked to a paisik, and it could be you're dealing with shailas midaraisa. Now, sometimes people may feel, ladies may feel, look, those three times I never have shilas. I'm always good with those three times, and I never have hargashas. So therefore, what I'll do is I'll have a nice chap. What I'll do is I'll always make sure that I'm wearing begadim that will save me from ksamim, which we'll learn soon. And that way, even after 30 days, 40 days, 50 days, when Anisha is normally going through her cycle, she'll say, well, look, I'm just constantly changing, and I'm putting on begadim that are not going to be a problem of ksamim, and therefore I'll never become a nida. But the answer is that that's not true. The Chachamim said that if it's normal for an isha to have her period around a certain time during the month, and now is when your body's going through the normal process of how it normally gets a period, then that's also going to be an issa d'oraisa. Sometimes there's a shaila that comes in that a lady is staining and she continually stains. She gets another stain and one stain, another stain, another stain. So you can't just keep saying, well, it's okay because it's all ksamim and it's all on big tzavainim or begadim they're not makabel tuma. But that's not right, because if an isha is getting a lot of ksamim, so then that already could be considered a period, and that's why if an isha has problems with staining, no matter whether she's on birth control, whether she's nursing or for whatever reason it is, it has to be asked a shaila to a Rav that to determine whether that amount of dam is already considered a shaila of the Araisa. Next time in Mitzvah Shem, we'll discuss more about the Ksama.